Today's outing, we went somewhere where they actually make real silk using silkworms, which I thought they only did in China years and years ago. And raw silk has only two colors, yellow and white, and anything else has been colored or dyed. So the first shot was that little small silkworms, and this batch of silkworms, they're about 19 days old, and you can see they're pretty plump and they're moving around. Next, they're moved to a rack where they make the cocoon, and the cocoons are what they use to make the silk thread. They put them in boiling water and they start taking the thread and putting it on a spindle. If it's threaded by hand, the thread is very thin, and that makes a finer silk. When you see silk and you turn it and it looks like it's multicolored, it has multicolors of different silk threads, layer on top of layer. Here's my tailor. She was very nice. She fitted me, and I purchased a pair of tailor-made silk pants, which is pretty cool. This gentleman is making silk-covered lamps, and they also have paper lamps as well. So after we left this area, we went and just walked around, and here's a little shop where a lot of local people were hanging out. And my cousin Mark asked if people really wore those hats or if that was just something that, was for tourists. No, here's a woman. She's on her way to the market with her hat on. And here's a picture of the building right here, which I thought that was kind of cool. There was an actual picture of this building. So here are coffins, and here's an actual coffin. And what would happen, your family would buy a coffin or make a coffin, and you would be cremated, and the ashes from your family would just be added to one coffin. Here's a restaurant that we ate at, and it was very good, which I knew it would be because there was a ton of locals walking around and everywhere, and the food was delicious. So we went into another part of town where there were really nice homes. This home had been hit by a flood, and every year they marked how high it was. Only homes like this had private wells. In the States, of course, this would be considered a trip hazard, but here it represented how children couldn't run in and out of rooms. They had to step over and be mindful going into a room and respect their elders. Next, we have part of that same door frame, and that's actually mother of pearl engraved. And this is a piece of marble in the sitting chair, and it had really elaborate decorations on the outside of the home as well. And here's a public well. If you didn't have money, you had to use this well. I took this picture thinking it was the inside of the back of a restaurant, but actually it turned out it was this guy's house. I'm glad no one was downstairs. And here's a local market, very busy, a lot of chaos, people pushing, shoving, trying to get the best deals. You see a lot of people on scooters, which is the main mode of transportation here. And it's, their motto is, I'll watch out for you as long as you're watching out for me, which I think is really cool. So I'm going to sit here and eat my nice imported green apple that I picked up at the market, since I'm feeling a little bit of motion sickness from going from plane to boat, back to plane again. I'm starting to feel a little land sickness. So, good night.